So what you been up to?
All right, Ivan, I've been good. How have you been? What did you think of the
I'm
fight
good.
last night?
I didn't see a lot of it. I seen clips of it. I knew it was gonna be tough for Thurman. He don't know how to get on the inside. And I was really impressed with Fendor because the last fight I seen Fendor was when he lost. And I had said to myself, I had said to a couple people in the gym that he needs to know how to learn how to box. Cause he 9 feet tall fighting in a sweat box. I mean, who does that? Only person I knew that was good like that was what's the kid? The kid that fought Floyd Mayweather and Floyd knocked him out. Uh, the one that died on the motorcycle.
Oh, Corrales.
Yeah, Corrales. And Corrales was the only guy who could fight in a sweat box and was pretty good with it. Fendor 9'9", trying to fight on the inside in the sweat box. That ain't what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be boxing. Then he came back. He had another fight, and he came back and he boxed superb. And I was really pleased with him. And then he took off some time, and then I heard he was going to fight Thurman. And I said Thurman was a great fight for him. Thurman don't know how to get inside. Uh, Thurman was looking to punch, but Fendor ain't give him a chance, and he beat him up real bad. So I was real impressed with Fendor.
What did you think of Thurman, like, complaining about the referee and stuff?
Shit. If I'm not mistaken, the fight got stopped in what, the 12th round?
Yeah, I mean,
So he had enough time. He had enough time to get himself together, but he was beat up bad, man. By the 6th round, his face was all puffy, man. I don't know if he could see out his eyes. Fendor just kept him on the outside. It was just going to be a hard night. And I think Thurman was thinking that he was going to be able to land a shot, but Fendor boxed real smart. I was real pleased.
now one thing I wanted to ask you about, there's been a lot of stories in boxing lately, a lot of new news to kind of talk about. And I kind of wanted to
Hmm.
get your opinion on some of this stuff. So, the first thing I kind of was interested in asking about, as someone who, myself, who watches a lot of MMA and stuff, is what do you think about this new Zufa Boxing stuff that's coming around?
Um, boxing has changed so much, man. It's really hard for me too because I'm an old school guy. Came up in the '90s, but I trained from through the '80s and the '90s. So training when I was out there, that's when boxing was boxing. So right now it's really kind of hard. You got all these different titles. You don't have one champion no more. Um, all the LBCs or the belts, all the belts have different champions. They have their own rules and regulations. It's just hard, and it's hard enough that these guys fight so hard. Then they don't want to give the money away by paying the sanctioning fees and stuff like that. Boxing is just right now at this point. I couldn't tell you what it's going to be tied in the next 3 or 4 years.
Well, I mean, how much as a fighter are you familiar with, like, Ollie Act and that kind of stuff that Zufa seems to be trying to maybe circumvent, so to speak?
I tell you the truth, I really don't pay no attention. I like I got a blind ear to it. I just stick strictly with the boxing that I know, the boxing that's really accurate and secure in what the people know. I mean, yeah, the times has changed and fighters are learning about the new fights that's coming along and all the celebrity boxing and all that. That really has me kind of like puzzled right
Celebrity boxing?
now. Yeah, man. I mean, you got celebrity football players getting money. You have these basketball stars. You have these YouTubers. You even have some of these celebrities that are actors and stuff getting in the game. I mean, that was never what boxing was about. Boxing was strictly about a guy that grew up in the sport some kids that came off the street. You know, those were the actual fighters that knew what they had to do to become a champion or what they needed to go through to get to that level. These guys now they come right up off their couch and they get in title fights.
Yeah. Do you feel like most fighters don't really aren't really worried about the Ollie act like you're talking about?
Yeah, most of them are not, but I think it need to be stay. I know they're trying to get rid of it. I just think that they shouldn't. I think that Ali placed it for a reason. It was the reason to be placed to protect the fighters. And the fighters are not worrying about protecting themselves. They just worrying about going out there and trying to make a dollar. And at the end of the day, they don't really know how damaging or vital it is to your life. I mean, you know, you look at some of the fighters that's still around, some of the to this day that was around when I was around. God forbid. I mean, you know, every day that I talk to guys like you or I talk to fighters, I feel as though I'm blessed because I didn't make the money that the De La Hoyas and those guys made, but I made enough money to live comfortably, and I'm still able to spend my money. I'm still able, God forbid, my mom and dad are still here. I'm still able to go talk to them, spend time with them. My dad is 85 years old. He's still in the gym with me every day. You know, me and him can have a talk. We go out and eat. He come to my house. I go to his house. Those things, you know, fighters are not thinking about. They thinking about right now. You got to think about later. Like I have a granddaughter. I love her to death, and she loves me. She just called me today and was like, "Pop, you know, I got all A's on my report card. So what am I getting this time?" I'm like, "Whatever you want, baby girl, you can have." Those are the things that these fighters need to think about. What's going to happen 20 years later when you have a grandkid that needs your advice or wants to come talk to you and he has to come or she has to come see you in the hospital and you can barely talk to him? Nah, I'm not feeling that, Todd.
Would you want like would you want her to be a fighter?
No. But
No.
if that's something that she's really interested in doing, I mean, it would even be hard for me to train her because the way I see it, me being the fighter that I was and the human being that I am, I think I have a lot of respect for not just the sport, for myself and for my family. And it would be hard for her because she would have to definitely be great because she's coming behind her grandfather, you know. So no, I don't want her to be no fighter. She don't want to be, but she do want to know how to protect herself. So at times she come over to my house and I teach her a little bit, or she'll come to the gym, pop up on me, and I give her the gloves and I teach her certain things. But her actually making money, nah, I wouldn't want her to do it.
Now, have you watched any of this new Zufa Boxing stuff at all, or have you not?
No, really, I haven't. No, really, I haven't. I heard about it, but no, I haven't watched it.
It's kind of a little bit more like oh, the UFC. The guys have to wear the same uniforms and the same gloves. It's kind of like that, you
The
know.
same
It's
who? The
no, no,
same
no,
who?
no. It's just boxing rules, but you know they all have to wear the same gloves. They all have to wear the same shorts. It's kind of more of a corporate
No, I
environment.
mean, yeah, but then again, at the end of the day, see, that's what I'm saying. How you trying to come in and override things that's already put in place in the sport. First of all, if you look at it, we really having trouble with officiating. With officiating, I mean, the officiating people that officiate are older. They're in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. They know the sport, but at times they get it confused. You know what I'm saying? They may have a fighter winning when he not really winning, or they may give him a landslide that everybody watching the fight know that it wasn't. So now you can already tell me you can already have these guys wear the same outfits, the same gloves, and these officials already having problems with scoring fights when they're not wearing the same gloves, they're not wearing the same uniform. I think that's uh, kind of thrown out the window.
But do you think it'll be a struggle to have kind of like a corporatized? presentation of boxing.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, what are the rules and regulations? I mean, like, what are you talking? What are you talking about? As far as like, when do you have to weigh in? How much weight are you allowing the fighter? Uh, and all that type of stuff. How much is the purse? It's just a lot that goes along with it. There are rules to everything, and I don't know exactly what their rules are. And from what you're just telling me right now, the rules don't seem to be accurate. Don't even seem to be too good.
Well, I mean, as far as the boxing rules go, it's the same thing ultimately that they're doing.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, it is. But I mean, all right. Now let's put it this way: if you have two guys fighting each other, and one is a great boxer and one is a puncher, the fight is kind of like 50-50 because the boxer may be good enough to box this kid, but we sitting there waiting for the puncher to land that one shot. And if he don't land that one shot to win, and if he's not busy enough or if he's not scoring correctly, we know the other guy wins. But then what happens with the judge turn around and give the puncher the winner? What I mean, gives the puncher the fight, or the fight comes to be real close, and it ain't the puncher who wins, it's the boxer, and but they give it to the puncher. Then we looking at it crazy. Then we looking at it like, oh, it was a gag, or it was rigged, or judges don't know what they're doing. Then what is going to be the what is going to be as far as like where the fight is going to be placed at? Who's going to be number one? How you going to decide if the fighter is a top fighter, or if he's in the top 10, or should he get a shot? Or it's just crazy. The organization that they trying to have has a lot of work to do, and we wondering if the work is going to be right.
what do you think about how like all these other forces like Matchroom, Queensberry, De La Hoya, and I think PBC, they all kind of signed up with the zone. So it almost looks like they're kind of linking up to battle Zufa, sort of.
Well, it may come to that point, you know what I'm saying? And then you're talking about organizations battling against each other, which that is something it always has been. Like for instance, when I was coming up, you had main events, you had top rank, you had Dying King, you had these guys. We was fighting these guys to see who was the best in the world. But now it seems like all promotions are trying to get all the great fighters and keep them under their umbrella so they can make all the money and rule out the other guys to be inside to make money for them. So it's just hard at times, Todd. Like for instance, if I got a guy, I may want to fight your guy because I feel as though my guy can beat your guy to get your title. But you ain't trying to give me that shot. You trying to give another fighter in your organization a shot because you want to keep the titles in your sanction. You want to keep the money rolling in your organization. It just don't make sense, man. It really don't. And at the end of the day, it hurts. It really does because a lot of fighters don't get the opportunity to show these skills.
So you kind of think it's a negative. I mean, wasn't HBO kind of consolidating some back then, or no?
They were, but at least they did give us the opportunity to fight. You know what I'm saying? They gave us so many markets, so many opportunities. Like um, in order for me at the time to be a world class fighter, I had to fight guys like Jesse James Leah, which was with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? And then they gave me the opportunity to fight Jesse on an HBO card. You know what I'm saying? And when I lost, I was still ranked high that I got an opportunity to fight on the HBO after dark card, which I won, and then I got the opportunity to fight Gatti. Then I got the opportunity to fight Chavez. All those type things. Even though I wasn't ranked high, I still had the ability to fight on those because I was a great fighter and people wanted to see me fight.
Right. I'm waiting to see if anyone else kind of guys that are watching this on YouTube. Feel free to ask
Mhm.
questions if you want. Ivan will answer some of them. If you got
Oh
some good
yeah.
questions, feel free to put them in. I wanted to ask you about. It sounds like maybe you, as a former fighter, you aren't necessarily looking at all the politics within the different organizations, so to speak. That doesn't really interest you.
No, you're right. To some point, it don't. It makes what and what's great about it is that me not watching a lot of it, I have how can I don't want to say coworkers, and they're not my coworkers, but I have other fighter, I have other trainers that watch it. They in the gym, they talk about it. So I listen. I don't give a feedback unless they ask me. And then if they ask me, we'll talk about it and we'll try to make sense of it. Sometimes it does make sense, sometimes it don't make sense. Sometimes you have to take a different avenue to it, and just make sense of it and try to make the best of it. Like a lot of times, you figure how do guys get fights when they just they do a lot of talking. They try to make a lot of fights by talking trash or saying what they can do to a fighter. And then it's pretty much up to the promoter to make the fight happen if it's going to happen, even if it's great enough for it, even if it's something that people want to see, you know. So
Yeah, it seems like now the it's almost like the stories outside of boxing are almost more interesting than what's going on in boxing. Uh,
true.
do you feel that way, or I mean, because you don't really watch the stories, but is it hard for you to watch the sport right now?
Um, no, not really, because there are some fights that I do, want to see, do want to have happen. Like for instance, when they talked about the Fendor, uh, when they talked about Fendor
Thurman,
and
Thurman.
Thurman fighting, I was like, how could Thurman get a shot at a world champion when he's been out for 3 years? He's been out for 4 years. Regardless if he was the world champion. He had all the belts, this, that, and that. He hasn't fought in 3 years. He hasn't fought anybody that was really valuable enough to say, well, Thurman beat this guy. Let's give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the champions are taking fighters with names that's been around a long time, that's pretty much out the game. And I mean, like, actually, do you think that they have a chance because they haven't been accurate as long? They haven't been busy. Like, it was just so much that you could put your finger on with the Thurman Fendor fight. I mean, one Thurman been out the ring for what, 4 years, 3 years, something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't care how much time it is. Boxing really doesn't change at all when it comes to a fighter being a fighter and getting in shape and going out there and perform. He ain't fought in 3 years. He hasn't really fought nobody on a caliber of a Fendor. So why would you just run and take a fight like that? Regardless if it was a money fight or anything. I mean, like, he took a bad beating. So in the next 6 to 8 months or in the next year, we gonna find out he hurt because he took a fight with Fendor and it messed him up real bad. I mean, and then they don't fight the fighters as regular as they do. You have champions that don't fight for 285 days, 175 days. When I was fighting, the most that I took off, I think, uh, to be honest with you, I couldn't really tell you how long it was I took a fight. I didn't take a fight with less than 4 weeks out. I was
Really?
right at, if I fought Yeah, if I fought on a Saturday, I was right back in the gym on Monday. I wasn't working hard, but I was back in the gym, even though I was sore, as long as it wasn't to a point where I couldn't walk or I couldn't throw no punches. If it was just me being sore or a little hurt on something, it didn't matter. I was back in the gym. If I fought Saturday, I would already have something to fight in late April, early May. These guys fight in March. They don't fight until next year. Who does that? Then you sit around, you get fat. You don't want to do nothing. You spend a lot of time with your kid. You going back and forth to your kids' game, or you just out lollygagging, spending money. No, I wasn't like that. We stayed active. We always stayed in the gym, especially if you didn't get a cut. If you wasn't out of, if you didn't get a cut and it didn't keep you out the gym no more than 3 weeks or whatever, you was fighting in 2.5 months or a month and a half. It depends. It depends on who you was fighting.
Well, and maybe because guys are getting better paydays now, they don't feel like they have to be as active.
Well, evidently, it's telling you that even if they getting paid good money, they're not doing the right thing with their money because guys are fighting, getting $4 or $5 million, and then you messing around here, and in 3 months they broke or they got to fight again, and they not looking to get a small portion of a fight to stay busy and stay active to pay bills and stuff. They want another $3 million fight, and how you doing that, or how you getting that, and you're not in the best of shape? First of all, you got to understand you need time to get the weight off, get in time, get your IQ together, spend time on being taught things, being teach, sitting down, talking to your coach, going over things. I mean, boxing is, at the end of the day, boxing is like football and basketball. You have to sit and put a plan together. You can't just go in there and run in there and think you're going to throw a left hook and knock somebody out.
Right. It's interesting though, because like you were saying, are you into like Floyd being broke? Is that what you're talking about, or?
Actually, like I said, and like we talked about a few minutes ago, I don't listen to everything. And I'm saying I don't listen to everything that's on social media. I don't listen to everything when guys run in the gym and say things, because everything ain't for sure. Certain people just say things so they can hear what you say because they know you might be mad or you might be envy about something. So I just wait a while to hear certain things, if it's true, if it's not true, and then if it's true, I have to sit and wonder what what is he going to do, how he going to come back, what's his situation, stuff like that. I mean, Floyd is a master. I mean, look, he pretty much put what's going on right now in place. You know what I'm saying, with the money making and how guys are fighting and how they getting their money and all that type of stuff. So no, I don't listen to everything. I just sit back and I just take heed to what's going on, and hopefully it's the best. You know what I'm saying? Um I know Floyd do spend a lot of money. I know Floyd likes to gamble, but at the end of the day, we really don't know what Floyd doing. We really don't know how much Floyd has. I mean, Floyd might have 30 million, but he might be down to 100 million. And people might think that he broke because he down to 100 million, because people are used to seeing Floyd do so much. Yeah, we think he broke because he don't do the things that he used to do. So, we don't, only Floyd knows.
Right, but do you think coming back to fight Manny, for example, like, do you think many people want to see that?
No, I don't think many people want to see it, but they're going to see it because one or two things. Floyd is an icon. Everybody looks up to Floyd, so they want to see exactly what Floyd can do, where he at, if he lost anything, if he can do the things that he used to do now. We haven't seen Floyd fight in a while. We seen Manny fight the last two fights. One fight he looked it good. We thought he got robbed when he drew, had a draw. Then he fought another fight he lost. We thought he won. So in that case, me as a fighter, I wouldn't want to see it. But you do have a lot of people in the world that would want to see it because they would want to see where Manny's at. Floyd hasn't fought the fight in a while, so we want to see where Floyd at. So to a point, it makes a good fight. But then again, for the money they're gonna charge for it, nah, I'll wait until after the decision, and then I look at it myself, and I judge the fight myself.
Yeah. Let me ask. What was I thinking about? Oh,
Take your time. Take
I
your
saw.
time.
What do you think about Jake Paul and Nikisa, his kind of like promoter, put together this MVP women's boxing league? What do you think about that?
I see that does it. It helps. First of all, let me tell you, I'm really pleased to see women uh get into the sport because it's making it's a changeover because we do when I was coming up, like when I was coming up, women wasn't I ain't gonna say wasn't allowed, but women didn't really put the foot on the pedal like they doing now. And we had some great fighters in Philly, women that really were great fighters, but they didn't take it to that level. Now they're taking it to that level, and we do have some really, really great women out here that's fighting, and it's good. I think the women should get paid. I'm not saying how much, but I'm thinking they should get paid because they probably put in just as much time as we put in, if not more. um, the sport is a whole lot dangerous when it comes to a woman fighting because of her body, because women are natures. They have to breed, when it comes to being pregnant and stuff like that. So their body work is really definitely sincere. So they have to watch out for that. I think it's a great thing. Now what Jake Paul doing, I pretty much think is a great thing too. But I think they're getting out of hand when it comes to this money because all these women that's going to really be fighting, and that's in the sport of boxing. Everybody gonna think they need to get paid.
Mm.
Everybody, I don't care who. Everybody thinks they need to get paid, and just some people just have to understand that you're you're not on that level where you need to get that big money like that, but you do need to make money. And it's only going to tell because it's only going to better the sport when it comes to the women. We're going to have better women that's going to be in the sport and that's going to show their skills and show what they really made of. And Claressa Shields, she started it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women are following her lead and making things happen. There are a lot of great women out here that are actually fighting that I didn't really think that we would have out here like that. I didn't think we would have that many great women that was out here fighting like that.
Now I'm starting to get some questions, so I want to read some off. I got this guy. Now what do they want? It's his screen name, and he was asking if you today, like maybe for HBO, were you signing multi-fight deals or did you do singles? What would you prefer as a fighter if you were in that position?
Um, it would be kind of hard. Well, it wouldn't be too hard to say. I would say I would rather take a contract to sign with the company, and as long as the company keeps their word on what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, then I'm with them. But you have some promoters making backdoors prices, backdoor contracts, stating different things in the organization and in the governing body when it comes to the fight. But yeah, if it was me, I would take a contract on how many fights, how much they're going to pay me, and if I think is reasonable, then I would take it. If I don't think it's reasonable, and if I have a problem with it, I wouldn't take it.
Like, were you on a contract with HBO when you fought Gatti the first time?
Well, when really the first Gatti fight was to me it was a slap in the face fight because they looked at me as being somebody who was a tune-up for Gatti. I think they knew it would be a great fight. No, I think they thought it would be a good fight. They didn't think it would be a great fight. Nobody thought it would be a great fight. They thought Gaddy would just come in there and wipe me with the floor. People that really knew me, knew what I could do, knew that it was going to be a great fight. Like I tell everybody, I never expected the first fight to be that electrifying. I didn't have a contract with HBO at the time. Gaddy did. But
Oh, I
after
assume
we
after they offered you one. I would
yeah,
assume.
after yeah, after we fought the second fight, That's when I got the contract to fight Gatti the second time. And I really didn't want to fight him. I wanted to fight Shane Mosley because Mosley had beat Philip Holiday, which I lost to Philip Holiday. And that Philip Holiday fight, it was kind of a seesaw battle fight with me and him. I think I didn't do the things that I could have did to win the fight. And then I seen Shane go right in there and do exactly what I should have done to win it. So I felt as though, I should have got the Shane fight. But that fight never happened because of the second Gatti fight. And it was good because when I beat Gatti the second time, they offered me the Shane Mosley fight, but they offered me less money to fight Shane Mosley the second time. I mean, they asked me to fight Shane Mosley for less money, and I got more money for the second Gatti fight. So I just said no, I didn't want to fight Shane Mosley. That's when they put me and Angel Man Freddy in. That was a great fight, but my head wasn't in that Man Freddy fight. And Man Freddy got over. That was because money situations was terrible. That's how it be sometimes. They get you at a high price for a fight, and you think that's great. And then when they come to you with another fight, they lowball you for another fight, and it's either like you take it or you leave it. And 9 times out of 10, you're looking at it like, man, look, I'll take this fight. And that's just what it was. But I learned a lot in my time as a professional fighter, and now as a coach. I pretty much uh teach my fighters and try to get them to understand the politics of boxing and how boxing can go. But it's just so different now because me talking to a fighter now about how I came up and where I was at in my career and how my career looked and the way that I did things, it's totally 10 times different from what it was when I was coming up.
How many fights did HBO offer you after the Gatti fight? This next contract. How many fights was it? Do you remember?
um, I got a HBO fight with Angel Man Freddy. I got a HBO pay per view fight with Jesse James, Lehi, and then I got a HBO fight pay per view fight with Julio Cesar Chavez. So I got three of them. I got three fights, which were good.
But were
Um,
those all part of it up front? Those three, or was it
no, I
one,
got
one,
those.
one?
No, I got those after. Like when I fought the Man Freddy fight, I got the HBO fight, but I lost the Man Freddy. So it was a while before HBO came back to me and they offered me to fight with Jesse James Leah.
So you were
And
doing
then
ones, one,
yeah,
and then one,
yeah,
and then one.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what. Do you think that's what you prefer if you had your way about it, or would you prefer?
No,
Okay, I
no,
want
I
four or
would,
five up front.
yeah, but then when you're doing something like that and you stuck into a contract, it's kind of hard because uh the television tries to demand who you fight. Like for instance, say I fought Tom Blow and I beat him. But the next fight I wanted to take another guy, but you was the toughest guy that HBO wanted me to fight. But I would be like, okay, I'll fight him, but I want a tune-up fight. HBO would definitely talk me out of it, try to tell me they're not gonna give me so much money, but then they would give me so much money to fight you. And I'm like, right now, I don't want to fight you. They would either one or two things: either I take the fight, or if I don't take the fight, they drop me.
Hmm. Now let me ask you this question. This is a little bit off the boxing topic, although it is a fighting topic. I'm going to read the person's name. This kind of Spanish name, so Noticias Internationalis. So, Sin, when was the first time you heard the name Dana White? And if you were a fighter, would you want to fight in Zufa Boxing?
No, because first of all, when it comes to me, it comes to um how can I say it? It comes to it comes to a name. It will come to a name. It will have to come to what you've done in the sport and how you. Dana White, isn't he a UFC
Yeah, that's what I
president?
mean.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
That's
a
what he's asking. When was the first time you heard of it? You know?
uh, I tell you the truth, I don't know, but I heard of him, and then I heard he was trying to, or he got his hands in the boxing now. I mean, like, what? I mean, like, are these guys just trying to get in, just to get in to make a name for themselves? And then when they come in, are they paying the right type of money for a fight, or are they just because I sometimes I hear about fights and I see and I hear fighters get money that I think at the time the money that they offer these guys they don't deserve it. They haven't lived up to that task where, for instance, a fighter that they bring in from wherever they bring him in and they sign him to fight for 100 million. 100 million. I mean, that's more money than he probably ever made in his whole career. But who is he? Who is he fighting to get this type money? And then you have the lower. That's what I'm saying. These guys do these type of things. What about the lower class guys? What about the guys that's just like, for instance, I have a kid now that's named Calvary Harris. He's a lightweight. No, no, my fault. He's a junior lightweight. He's 130. He's 1-0 with one knockout. This kid, I'm telling you, Tom, you gonna hear about this kid. This kid is great, and I'm his head trainer. So I'm teaching him. I'm teaching him. I'm not I'm not training him. I'm teaching him. You know, I'm being a teacher of the sport from what I used to do. So I'm teaching him. But he hearing all this stuff and he's saying to me like, "Well, coach, you know, when I get 8-0, 9-0, can I make 100,000?" Look at that, like 100,000. You 9-0, you want to make 100,000, which I understand that's good. But 100,000, who would you fight to get 100,000?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These kids think they can just run out here and, as the saying is, get a bag to fight who? Who knows you? You know what I'm saying? Who? What type of crowd do you have? What type of support you have? Who knows you? You know what I'm saying? What you done in the last 10 or 12 years that makes you out to get 100,000? You know what I'm saying? So, the sport is great. I love it. I've said many a times that I didn't want to be in it no more because it's a headache. But at the end of the day, Todd, this is what I do. This is what I sleep, eat, and as my dad and them used to say back in the day, shit. So, I ride with it.
So I got another question here that's now what do they want? These two guys are asking most of the questions. So you're saying after beating Gatti, um, the second time, do you think you got the recognition you deserved? He
I think
felt he felt that Gatti stayed a big deal and you didn't get the credit. Do you feel that way?
I mean, see, I come from a different background than these guys come from nowadays. When I came through, with me, it was about boxing. I was about being good. I was about guys like you, Tom, the young man that's asking the question. The question I was worried about when my career is over, him knowing who I was. That's what I was worried about. You know what I'm saying? I think at the first Gatti fight, I got half of the recognition that I was supposed to get because there were some people out there with me, some people out there that wasn't with me. But when I did what I did, the people that was with me said, "Oh yeah, I knew that happened. That was going to happen because we knew how good Ivan was. He just didn't ever get to that point where he had to show that talent like that." Then I had the people that was like, "Oh well, he did it, so let's see if he can do it again." And when I did it again, I think I shut everybody up.
Yeah, you were more dominant in the second fight, even.
Yeah, that's but yeah, I think so too. But I think if I would have fought the second fight like I fought the first fight, I don't think I would have got it because of some fact. Even though Gatti was coming off a loss, Gatti was still the breadwinner. everybody still loved Gatti, and they don't think that I really beat him like he should have been beat. They still would have thought that, he's still capable of making the money. But when I went out there and I had that attitude that, excuse my expression, I ain't give a fuck. That was the attitude that I had in that fight, and I fought like that. And I think I got a lot of people respect from that fight. So when I won that first fight, that's why I entitled to the second fight, and I think people believe me then.
I think a lot of guys like myself who didn't. I wasn't in boxing circles, I was just a kid in high school
Mm.
at that time. And
Were you?
really, yeah, I mean,
Damn, I'm an
I'm pretty
old
sure
ass man.
I was high school age at that time, and
Damn.
really, it was hard to find out who was doing what, behind the scenes. Unless, I mean, I guess you could read like Ring magazine or something, but really,
Mm.
my only exposure was when HBO put a guy on. Then I would see the guy. You know what I mean? So I
Right,
think people like me who had HBO and watched that fight, you got recognition from us because we were like, holy shit, did you see that?
right.
Like, did you guys see this fight between these two guys? It was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
and see that was the thing. Now, what's happening is that, see, when we was coming up, we had as you say, we had how you say it, we had a platform that showed the little guys that the big organizations already had put on front. HBO was the low budget company that paid really well to broadcast these great fights, and we didn't know about these fighters because they were under the big fighters. So that's where I'm thinking that a lot of this is going wrong. We don't have a platform like HBO no more to show uh guys like what's my man name? The kid from Philly. I mean, well, he from Jersey, but he from the guy named Wu, not Albright, not the Albright. Those type of guys don't get the recognition that they should, because they pretty good fighters, but they're not able to fight on a card like we had back then. USA TV networks that was doing cards once every month, twice every month, and they was putting on all the small local hot fighters that we were hearing about, but we never got a chance to see. So HBO made that platform good for all of us, and especially for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I came from that platform with USA Tuesday Night Fights. I was fighting on USA Tuesday Night Fights like every month. Like I was saying, I will fight in February, and then I was back on a card in April. I was back in the gym probably like a week after my fight that I fought in February, because I knew I was going to fight again on USA television in April. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I think it was different than with those times and this times.
Mm. Now let me get to this one. It said, saying the Manfredi fight was a big fight, but were you compensated like you felt you should have been? Did your compensation go up, or how did that work after those fights?
Well, that was I was still I was still young in the game, and I had to like really understand, because I had a manager named Eddie Woods, and Eddie really took care of me to the point that nowadays you got fighters are pretty much like stating their contracts, like how much money they should get or how much money they want. Back then when I was fighting, my manager took care of everything. My job was, all the way my team was, I kept my team to the point where I had my manager, I had my dad, and I had my other two trainers. They were the ones that took care of who I was fighting. My manager took care of the money and where we was fighting. All I did was got my behind in the gym, train, make sure I was on weight, make sure I did the things I had to do, and whatever the money was, that's what I fought for. Unless I thought the money wasn't right. Now in the Manfredi fight, It was just so much going on because man, Freddie had just lost to Floyd. He had just got knocked out by Floyd. Um, and after the Gatti fight, I had took some time off. I had took my son and my daughter away and my wife. We went away. We stayed away for like a whole month. But I was getting calls about having a fight, and I was like, "Well, who we gonna fight?" And they was like, "Well, right now they're talking about Angel Man Freddy." So I was like, well, I'm gonna fly home in a couple days, and then I sit down and we'll talk about it. So the whole time I'm away, I'm sitting here thinking about fighting Man Freddy, and I looked up who Man Freddy fought, and I just seen him fight Floyd, and I seen Floyd knock him out. But at the same time, I'm saying to myself, I can't look at Man Freddy being knocked out by Floyd because Floyd is a great fighter, and Man Freddy is a great fighter too. It just wasn't Man Freddie Knight. Floyd was just a better fighter. So on my way back, because I had we had went where did we go? Oh, I had took the kids to Florida. On my way back, I had called my manager and I told my manager, I said, well, make the fight. I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I said I'll be in the gym the next day. I don't know what day it was, but I know I told him I'll be in the gym the next day. Okay, he called me back when I got home and told me what the purse was. Now, in that time, Gatti was number 7 in the world at lightweight. I think I was like 12 or 13, something like that. And at the time, I wasn't signed with Main Events. He was signed with Main Events. But Main Events had pretty much uh, directed my career. Every fight that I fought, I was on a Main Events card or I fought on a Russell Peltz card because Russell Peltz and Main Events were tied together. So like when Main Events didn't have a card or they had a card and they couldn't put me on it, I was supposed to fight on a Russell Peltz card. And it seemed like at that time I was hot. So I always fought on a Russell Peltz card. It was a Tuesday night. It was a USA Tuesday night fight, and Blue Horizon was popping at the time. So I was always on a Blue Horizon card. But with the Manfredi fight, like I said, we signed to fight Manfredi. Manfredi, I don't know if, well, I guess it was Manfredi people. Manfredi people said that they wasn't gonna fight us because they said they just got out of a hard fight with Floyd, and they didn't want to take a fight like me because I guess they just seen the two Manfredi, I mean the two Gatti fight. So we sitting around here waiting to get a fight. About a week later, they called again and said that they would take us. We started training. I was already overweight from having a ball with the family. I had to get back in the gym and make weight. I was having trouble making weight. I didn't know why, but I was having trouble making weight. Um, Freddie people called back again and said they didn't want to fight. Then it came to the point it was about money. So we started going back and forth about the money thing. As we arguing about the money, study me being in the gym training, no matter what, this is where I got real lackadaisical with my training and got kind of big headed with what went on with the Gatti fight. Because a lot of people was applauding me for the Gatti fight. I was doing a lot of TV shows. I was doing a lot of autograph signing, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that type of stuff can get you thrown off what you was doing. It got me so thrown off that it even got me to the point where it got to the money. Because after the fight, when I fought Manfredi was a great fighter, no doubt about it. But I knew I could beat Manfredi. But by me going through so much that I was going through with the money and not training, and then Manfredi and them talking about they wasn't gonna fight us, this, that, and another. And as I'm looking at it as going down the line after the fight, I think it was just a pawn that where they got me to where they got me to, what made them, get an edge on a fight. And one thing that I think about now that I didn't know before then was that they kind of, I don't want to say railroad me, but they did railroad me because they should have paid me more than what I got for the Manfredi fight because it was two things that was that was really main when it came to the Manfredi fight. We both beat Otero Gatti. And the money that they gave me for the Otero Gatti fight, it was, I mean, for the Manfredi fight, it wasn't nothing compared to what they gave me for the Gatti fight. And Gatti, of course, was, I'm going to say 2 times better than Manfredi. He wasn't 3 or 4, nothing like that, because Manfredi really could fight. He really could fight. And Manfredi was at his best at 130. 135, I think he was a little out of wax. I don't think 135 was his weight, but he moved up to 135 and he beat me. So I guess, that escalated him to move on to, I guess, some bigger and better things. Even though I lost to Manfredi, I still went on to bigger and better things, but I got railroaded because I should have been at a higher escalon than what I was after Gatti. I didn't get the recognition. I didn't get the money. But, at that time, like I said, it wasn't about money with me. It was about me just being good at what I do and going out there and performing for the audience and letting the audience know who I was.
Yeah, I think you and Angel had some similarities because, like you said, he won some fights that probably could have propelled him.
Yeah.
But then he had some where he'd lose, like he'd win a couple and then lose an important one.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't get the I think he even got less recognition than you because he wasn't in a fight of the century type fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Even
then
though he could
sometimes
fight, like you were saying, you were very complimentary of him, and I agree with you. Angel was he was a better boxer than he got credit for.
yeah, and certain fights, certain situations, like Manfredi was a great fighter, but in this game, and I don't really like to call boxing a game because it's not a game, but in this sport, you can really get sidetracked by money. You can get thrown off by the bad company you keep. You can also yourself. You can make bad decisions yourself when you think they're great decisions. Sometimes you make uh sacrifices to do things that you shouldn't do that can harm you. So it's a lot in this sport that can really propel you to be great, and then there are things in this sport that can propel you to be bad. And I don't think that spectators understand when I say, I'm saying spectators because they are spectators. A lot of them are not even fans. Most of them are just spectators. They don't understand it. They just see what you've done at that time or what you continue to do as time go on, but they don't understand how much of a uh, weight it causes you to do the things that you need to do when it comes to boxing. People don't understand boxing ain't just something that you walk in the gym and you walk through a door and you get some type of lightning bolt hit you and you just become great. No, you have to work your behind off to be great. That's what I try to tell my fighters nowadays. Every time I get a fighter that comes to me and wants me to train, they always tell me, I want you to make me as good as you. Dog, you don't know what I went through. You don't know how long I did this sport. You don't know what my dad used to put me through for me to become the fighter that I. These fighters just don't understand. They just don't know. Some of the fighters do because they go through it. And I really got to take my hats off to Claressa Shields because by her being a female, I think she puts the time in to really be the goat, and she's just at a time right now where she's just naturally gifted, man. There's no woman in her weight class that can really beat her. Clarissa Shields is just she's just gifted, man. She has that natural ability to be a champion, and I'm glad that she's doing it. I just think sometimes she get beside herself. She just run her mouth too much.
You think when you're talking about company you keep and stuff like that, do you think that's what happened to Angel?
Yeah, I think Angel had bad company. And then I also think that Angel was the type of guy, he kind of had a swagger that he just felt as though that it was just never going to be. It was never going to be broken. It was a swagger that he felt as though it would never fall. He never thought that his swagger could be penetrated, and it just it happens to all of us. It happens to me too. I had guys in my camp to this day now that I still wish that I never had. But at that time, it was great because everything was lovely. Everything was good. I had everything that I needed. I had everything that I wanted. It was nothing that I didn't need that I couldn't reach out and get. You know, when you have that type of entity, that type of power, I don't care who you are. It goes to your head. And you can't be everywhere. You can't do everything. I know you feel as though that you're Superman, that you can take care of everything. Nothing that's gonna happen that you can't take care of, and you see it before it's coming. No, you don't. Just like you don't see every punch coming. You can't get out the way of every punch. So everything works in all entity of the same. So but I'm happy, Tom. I mean, I had a great career. I don't care if a person tell me that I didn't make all the money that these guys make in a day. It don't matter. I mean, I did what I did in my time. I was uh I was fortunate to have those things, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a kid from North Philly. I mean, my mom and dad wasn't broke, but you know what I'm saying? They gave me what I asked for. I didn't get everything I wanted, but got most of the stuff that I asked for. My mom and dad made sure I finished high school. You know what I'm saying? They made sure that I dressed good, that I had food on the table. So, I'm good.
Um, this guy here, he's on my channel a lot. He's more of an MMA guy, but he wanted to ask like a couple of things because he knows fighting, and he was asking. He actually asked me to ask you about fighting James Creighton and Amanda Augustus.
Damn, he must really. Either he's a true fan or he's somebody that I don't know that was by my side all the time. Well, the Emmanuel Augustus, as they called him at the time, that was a fight that I think that main events held in a box to finally bring to me to see if I was really the fighter that I was, because man, Emmanuel Augustus was the type of guy, man. Oh my God, he was a good guy, man. He could fight too. I just think his career went sour probably from day one when he signed his contract to turn pro, because he was the type of guy. He was another one. He was a hard nosed guy, excuse my expression. He didn't give a shit about nobody. He would fight anybody. But I think the promoters do that, and they put him in there with any and everybody, and then they didn't pay him the type of money he should have got paid. And man, that fight right there was the fight that told me that I was ready to fight Philip Holiday, because that was stated in the contract. That was a USA Tuesday night fight, and the fight was in Baltimore. And the contract stated if I beat Emmanuel Augustus, I was already number one for like 2 years, and it was crazy how many events just moved me up the rankings. And I take my hat off to my manager, because my manager also put me in the right position with all my fights. But I was number one in the world, and the Emmanuel Augustus fight was the fight that I needed to win. I think that I won the fight. Yeah, I think I won the fight. Of course, I didn't win the fight impressively as everybody wanted me to win the fight, but everybody wasn't in there fighting Emmanuel Augustus. Man, Emmanuel Augustus was hard. I mean, I was hitting this kid with the kitchen sink, and this kid wasn't going nowhere. I mean, this guy was making fun of me, talking to me, dancing, all that. Do you know what type of you know how I felt? And this guy was doing this on national TV in front of everybody. Man, he was making me mad, man. But when I went back to the corner, I never forget as long as I live. I went back to the corner in the third round, and my dad got in the ring. My dad don't he didn't never get in the ring. My dad always liked to play outside the ring. But my dad got in the ring and he smacked me on live TV and asked me what the hell was I doing. And he told me to go out there and fight this kid. And my dad, I think my dad hit me one time when I was a kid because I was bad in school. After that, he never hit me. And then he hit me then. I think I was what, like 21 when he smacked me? Man, that was embarrassing, man. And I went out there and I fought him, and that was a great fight. The you know what? The James Creighton fight, that was that was like a low level fight. I was pretty much like down to I'm gonna downgrade myself to a C. James Creighton was coming off like three or four great fights. Two of them was like knockouts or something. And it was like either you get past this kid, or if you don't get past this kid, you might as well give it up. And I was only like 28, 29. You know what I'm saying? They say fighters don't reach their peak till they 30, 35. I was pretty much already pronouncing myself as like getting ready to get out the game. Because I've been boxing since I was like 5, but I started competing when I was like 10. So you talk about like 20 plus years, man. I was already really tired, but that was like a fight that juvenated me. And James Creighton, man, look, that Joker was like, man, I don't care what you do, you had to kill me tonight to win this fight. And man, that fight was tough. But I went out there and I took it. I took it another level. I didn't know I had it in me. I really didn't know I had it in me. But for some reason, something kicked in, and I went out there and I got the job done. But Creighton wasn't he wasn't easy, man. And I didn't even hear about this guy. I mean, like I'm like saying to main events, like who is this guy? Where he coming from? I never heard of him. So yeah, we fought. That was a great fight too. He actually, I think he hurt me in like the 6th round, but I don't know. He didn't know it, but I knew it. But yeah, I got myself together, and I really, that was the first time in my life I really say that I really like threw hard punches every round, the whole round. I didn't even know I had it in myself. Something came out of me, but yeah, I'm glad I got the win. That was a great fight. That put me in good position for another big fight. I can't remember who it was after that, but yeah, I had some great fights, man. And what's the most crazy about it? I think I had a lot of great fights off TV than I had on TV.
Another question, Hamza, was did you ever train Bernard Hopkins since you guys were both from the same area?
No, I ain't fucking training with Bernard Hopkins.
Did you not
I
like him?
know,
Is that it?
I know everybody did. I don't have a vendetta with Bernard. Bernard is a great guy, man. And Bernard is one of the guys of many who actually did his career the way he said he was going to do it. Bernard was a hard nosed kid. You know what I'm saying? He had some jail time. He came from the streets of Philadelphia, and our streets are crazy like Baltimore. So for Bernard to be a great fighter and come from the street and do things this way, it was great. No, I don't dislike him. It's just that Bernard, everybody, not just Bernard, I have him, everybody. It's just certain ways about people that you just don't like. And there's certain things about Bernard that I didn't really, like, but that's me. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about him. But I never will disrespect Bernard because Bernard is an icon. Plus, we come from the same city. We trained by the same trainer. Um, Great Bowie Fisher. So Bernard made a lot of money, did a lot of things. I think he could have did more, but that's just me.
And one other, did you fight Oscar De La Hoya in the amateurs?
Are you asking me that, or
No,
is a
somebody on the YouTube is asking.
they supposed to know that already? So they don't know me that well. I fought Oscar 3 times in the amateurs. I beat Oscar 2 out of 3 times, but I didn't get the decision. I wanted to fight Oscar in the pros. Actually, I asked to fight him when remember when he fought Jesse James Lehi?
Yeah.
That was the he had called me. My manager had reached out to Top Rank for me and Oscar to fight. Oscar wanted to fight me. That was a fight that I wanted. I wanted that fight real bad. But the thing was, Oscar wasn't paying. He didn't want to pay me the money that I asked for to fight him. But he turned around the money I asked him for to fight. He turned around and gave it to Jesse James Leahouse, and he went and knocked Jesse James Leahouse out in like 3 or 4 or 5 rounds, something like that. So yeah, I fought Oscar 3 times in amateurs.
Yeah. You know, Ivan, every time I talk to you, it's fascinating. I feel like I could talk to you forever. And
Yeah, that's what I do too. I mean, you always asking me questions that I don't know where you get them from, but you just come up with these questions that I gotta sit and really think about. That you asked me, and I'm sitting here asking myself, how did you know that, or why you asking me that? But it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Todd.
yeah, like I never, as somebody growing up in high school, watch you fight these fights. I never thought I'd have a chance to like talk to you and stuff. You know?
Man, look, it's just
Like,
it's
like
just amazing that you
fascinating.
yeah, it's just amazing that you asking me to be on your podcast, and then you sitting here telling me that you was a fan, that you watched me coming up. The first time you said you made me feel old, man, but hey, I
I'm old.
mean,
I'm old too. I'm almost 50. So you know.
you almost 50. I'm past 50.
Ah,
So, it is what it is. But the great thing of it all is that we both here, we both talking to each other, we both great, you know what I'm saying? And life is good, man. I can't complain about it. I couldn't be mad about it, you know.
yeah. I can't thank you enough for taking time to talk to us and answering questions from people on YouTube. Everyone
Sure,
that's
my
watching the
pleasure.
show, we appreciate you asking questions, and yeah, we could do some more live stuff with Ivan sometime if he wants.
Yeah, come on, Tom. I told you, man, all you gotta do is call me, tell me you need me at a certain time. If I got the time available, I'll do it. But it's never that I don't have time. I always got time for you.
I appreciate it. And
Yes, sir.
everybody checking out the episodes, you know, Ivan, let them know where they can follow you. I know you'd answer questions from people.
Yeah, you can get me on Facebook, Ivan Robinson. Instagram, either Mighty Boxing Club or It's a Mighty Thing. Um, I don't have a YouTube channel. I people telling me I should get it, but I leave that up to guys like you, Tom.
If you ever want to do one, I'll help you work on it. No problem. If you ever want to do a YouTube channel or anything, just let me know.
Okay, surely.
Yeah, an honor. All right, guys, well, we appreciate everyone taking time to talk with Ivan. You know, always kind of keep my stuff within an hour so I don't too long with people. I took Ivan over a little bit, but
No, it's good. I'm good. I ain't doing nothing anyway today, but day Sunday, I'm sitting here watching the Knicks and OKC. So just
oh yeah,
relaxing.
did you see that Duke and UConn the final shot?
Yeah, that was
Oh my
crazy, wasn't it?
god.
Yeah,
UConn went for the win instead of fouling. They went for the
I
press. You
know.
know.
That was crazy. Yep.
Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, like I said, enjoy the game, and I appreciate you taking time to talk to me. And everyone who checked out Ivan, legend. Ivan's a legend. One of the greatest fights of all time.
Thanks,
Gatti
Todd. I
versus
appreciate
Robinson
it.
won. And until next time, everybody, we appreciate it. Take care.
All right, buddy. All right.
Welcome to the Todd Atkins Show. Subscribe now for intense content. Join the fight. Hit like, comment, and subscribe to stay in the ring. Don't tap out now. Engage and be part of the action.